Adolf Hitler's journey from obscurity to infamy remains one of the most studied and debated topics in history. Born in Austria in 1889, his early life offered little hint of the dictator he would become. Yet, the seeds of his radical ideology were sown during his formative years. He harbored deep resentment towards the outcome of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, which he perceived as humiliating to Germany. This resentment, coupled with his burgeoning nationalist and anti-Semitic views, formed the bedrock of his future political career. In the aftermath of World War I, Germany grappled with economic turmoil and political instability. Hitler found a receptive audience for his message of national revival and racial purity. He joined the German Workers' Party, which later transformed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party. His powerful speeches, imbued with a potent mix of nationalism, anti-Semitism, and promises of prosperity, resonated with a disillusioned populace. His rise to prominence was swift. He capitalized on the prevailing discontent and fear, skillfully manipulating the masses with his rhetoric. The Nazi Party gained traction, becoming a potent force in German politics. By 1933, Hitler's strategic maneuvering and the party's growing popularity culminated in his appointment as Chancellor of Germany. This marked a turning point in German history, paving the way for the rise of one of the most brutal regimes the world had ever seen. His ascent to power was complete, and with it began the dark chapter of Nazi Germany. Once in power, Hitler moved swiftly to consolidate his control over every facet of German society. He ruthlessly eliminated any opposition both within and outside the Nazi Party. The Reichstag fire in 1933, a pivotal event shrouded in suspicion, was skillfully utilized to suspend civil liberties and persecute political opponents, primarily communists. The Enabling Act, passed the same year, granted Hitler dictatorial powers, effectively dismantling the Weimar Republic and establishing a totalitarian state. Hitler's grip on power tightened with the chilling Night of the Long Knives in 1934. This purge saw the elimination of potential rivals within the Nazi Party, including Ernst Röhm, the leader of the SA, the party's paramilitary wing. This brutal act sent a clear message. Any dissent, even from within, would be met with swift and merciless retribution. The consolidation of power was complete, and the Nazi Party's control over Germany was absolute. Propaganda became an indispensable tool for shaping public opinion and disseminating Nazi ideology. Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, masterfully orchestrated a campaign that permeated every aspect of German life. Radio, film, newspapers, and public rallies were all employed to glorify Hitler and promote his vision of a racially pure and powerful Germany. The Nazi propaganda machine was incredibly effective in influencing public opinion and garnering support for the regime. Central to Hitler's ideology was the twisted concept of Aryan supremacy and a deep-seated hatred for Jews, whom he deemed a threat to German purity and dominance. This poisonous ideology manifested in a systematic and escalating campaign of persecution against Jews and other minorities. The Nuremberg Laws, enacted in 1935, stripped Jews of their citizenship, paving the way for further discrimination and violence. These laws were just the beginning of the horrific persecution that would follow. The Kristallnacht pogrom in 1938 marked a terrifying escalation of this persecution. Jewish businesses and synagogues across Germany and Austria were vandalized, looted, and destroyed. This event shattered the facade of normalcy and exposed the true brutality of the Nazi regime. It was a chilling prelude to the horrors that would define the Holocaust. Driven by his warped ideology and lust for conquest, Hitler plunged Europe into the abyss of World War II with the invasion of Poland in 1939. His blitzkrieg tactics, characterized by rapid and overwhelming force, initially caught the Allies off guard. The war, which raged for 6 long years, would become a testament to human resilience and the devastating consequences of unchecked tyranny. The Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable by the Nazis, remains a haunting reminder of the depths of human depravity. Jews, Roma, homosexuals, the disabled, and political opponents were rounded up, deported to concentration camps, and systematically murdered. The atrocities committed during the Holocaust are a stark warning against the dangers of unchecked hatred and the importance of safeguarding human rights. Despite early victories, Hitler's ambitions ultimately proved to be his undoing. The tide of the war began to turn with the Nazi defeat at Stalingrad in 1943, a turning point that exposed the limits of German military might. As Allied forces advanced from the west and the Soviet Red Army closed in from the east, the net around Hitler tightened. By April 1945, with Berlin reduced to rubble, Hitler's reign of terror was nearing its end. Hiding in his underground bunker, he chose to end his own life rather than face defeat. His suicide on April 30th, 1945, marked the fall of the Third Reich and the end of World War II in Europe. Hitler's legacy is one of unparalleled destruction and suffering. His name has become synonymous with tyranny, genocide, and the horrors of war. The world, forever scarred by his actions, emerged from the ashes determined to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. The lessons of the Nazi era, a chilling reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of vigilance against hatred and intolerance, continue to resonate today.